Welcome to Bloom at the Yoga Garden, and thank you so much for joining me for today's recording. So we're trying something a little bit different today. I have people here in the studio during the class, so you can let me know what you think, whether you find it too distracting or whether you prefer just the straightforward classes. But certainly I think you'll probably find the pace of the lessons is maybe a little bit slower, which may not be a good thing. But please do feel free to let me know what you think anyway. So we're going to begin by lying back and down in Shavasana. So get yourself nice and comfortable and bring yourself down onto your mat. Feel as if you're stretching the crown of your head up towards the top of your mat and taking your feet as far away from your head almost as you can. Heel of the right foot at the right edge, the heel of the left foot, the left edge of the mat. Allow your shoulders to soften away from your ears, and that will allow the arms to rotate so the backs of the hands can be in the floor. Maybe allow your head to roll gently from side to side and then come to rest in the middle. And just bring your awareness to your breath. So some people find this a bit frustrating, this part of the class where you just want to get started. But it is so important to center yourself and get yourself in the right place for your yoga practice. So we'll continue to follow our breath. Don't try to change it in any way, just notice it. Notice the lovely softness of the inhale and this sense of letting go with the exhale. So just allowing the breath to do its own thing. This universal breath that gives us our prana, the vital life force that keeps us going, that courses through our body day and night. So this is one of my favorite Thich Nhat Hanh mantras or expressions. Breathing in, I calm body and mind. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment. I know this is a wonderful moment. And now, again, just as you follow your breath, maybe you've noticed that your breath has already begun to slow down a little bit. Maybe it hasn't. But maybe you can encourage it now to begin to slow down, just the tiniest little bit. Extending the exhale if you can. And allowing yourself to be here in this moment where you've set aside the time to look after your physical, mental and emotional well-being. So we spent these few minutes, a very few minutes, settling the body and the mind. We're almost ready to begin the physical aspect of today's practice. So as always, please listen to your own body. Respect any old injuries, any new injuries, any aches or pains you have. And don't do anything that you know doesn't suit you or is going to hurt your body. You know how you feel today. So now we're just going to take a big inhale and begin to take your arms up overhead. Reach into your fingers, point your toes away, and then exhale. Just allow your arms to drift down and allow your feet to soften and relax. And have a little wriggle about. And then bring your knees in towards your chest, give them a wee squeeze. And then we rock from side to side. Turn the music off here. It's another wee bit for Shane to cut out. So take another big inhale, and as you exhale, squeeze your knees in towards your chest and maybe begin to lift your nose up towards your knees. So you're not trying to do anything massive, just watch your shoulders haven't rolled up as you do that. And then exhale, gently release. We'll do one more of those. Take a big inhale and exhale, bring your nose up towards your knees, just a little bit. And then lower yourself down. And now bring your hands into the backs of your thighs and nice and gently begin to straighten one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. So that your legs maybe won't go completely straight at the beginning, so just bend them and straighten them a couple of times and just see how that feels. And maybe once you've done it 2 or 3 times, you find that your legs do begin to straighten a little bit more, nice and gently. And then you can keep holding on to the backs of your thighs if you want to. And we're just going to do a few wee rotations with our ankles one way. And do it nice and slowly. Watch your shoulders aren't trying to help you to do this. And then change direction. And then maybe a few foot flaps. So your knees towards your face and away again. So we are trying to ignore all these little joints, and yet they're really important for, our feet are one of the most important parts of our body, let's face it. If your feet aren't right, nothing else is going to be right. One more breath here. And then we're going to bring our knees back in towards your chest, straighten your left leg out along the floor, and give your right knee a squeeze in. So we're just going to encourage the right knee up towards the right shoulder. So work into the heel of the right foot and leg. The left foot and leg. And squeeze your right knee in. And then we're going to take the right foot across the left leg and see, so you can roll onto your left hip when you do this. So allow your right hip to lift up and see if you can get your right foot planted down on the floor. Now the floor might be a bit far away, and if the floor's too far away for you to get your foot down, then you can put a block or a brick underneath your left foot, but maybe you'll be able to reach down with your left hand and take hold of your right ankle. So hold on, just wherever you can hold on to, maybe your shin, anywhere at all that feels okay, and then maybe you'll be able to roll that right hip back down onto the floor, so your right shoulder is nestled down nicely onto the floor. So it's a good stretch. So you're getting a stretch in your hip, but you're also getting a stretch down the right side of your body. So you're trying to nestle the right shoulder down and plant the right foot at the same time. So do use a block or a brick underneath your foot if you need to. I'm going to say this is what you'll be doing. So just put your block down, and then it brings the floor up a wee bit closer, and suddenly that stretch becomes much more accessible. So I actually used a brick, but you could use a block or a book or anything at all that you happen to have. And then if you can, turn your head and look over your right shoulder. So this is actually a yin stretch. and I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. So continue to breathe into wherever you're feeling it. So it might be down across the right side of the body, it might be in the right hip, it might be somewhere else, it might be in the shoulders. One more big inhale here. And then gently release your right foot and step it back across. Straighten it along the leg and we'll do the other side. Well done. And bring your left knee in towards your chest. And give it a wee squeeze in, maybe a wee circle or two, just whenever it feels it needs. Maybe take it up towards your left shoulder. So we're just gently warming up this left hip, telling it what we're about to do. Because we know what we're going to do now on this side. So again, same thing again. The side could be completely different. You might need a block or a brick at all. So to begin with, allow yourself to roll onto your right hip until you get that left foot planted nicely on the floor or planted on the block or the brick. And then see if you can hold on to it with your right hand. So your right shin, your right ankle, wherever you can. You're still working into the heel of the right foot and leg. And then maybe you'll be able to roll that left hip back down a little bit to increase the stretch, but don't worry if that doesn't feel right for you. And turn your head and look over your left shoulder if you've no neck issues. And if you can't hold on to your foot, don't worry. Just plant it on the floor. You don't have to hold on to it, but just increases the stretch a little bit more. And again, notice how it feels on this side. Send your breath to any area that is feeling or that you think needs that little bit of a stretch. And breathe. And smile. One more breath here. Excuse me. And gently release your left leg and straighten it out along the floor beside the other one. And then we're going to bring our knees into our chest and straighten them up towards the ceiling again. And now we're going to cross the right ankle over the left and bring your arms up at shoulder level. So just going to do a wee bit of, I don't know what we'd call it, a wee bit of core work I suppose it is. So we're going to see if we can bring our arms aren't going to move, and we're going to bring our toes towards our hands. So we'll take a big inhale, and again, if you do it in an exhale, it's easier. Inhale and lift your feet, or bring your feet towards your hands. So we're going to do, we'll go for 10, will we? So you're lifting your sit bones up. So you're using it's an up movement rather than a swingy movement. Does that make sense? You're not just swinging your feet towards your hands, you're lifting your bum up. Feel as if you're trying to lift your feet up towards the ceiling. And then when you've done about 10, change the cross of your ankles and we'll go for the other side. So lifting your sit bones, no, your sacrum it is, off the floor. Lift up, and you'll be beginning to feel it now. I am beginning to feel it. We'll go for, I don't know how many I'm on. I have to stop talking and count. And breathe. I love to hear you breathing. And then when you've had enough, or when you've done your 10, bring your knees in towards your chest. Give them a wee rock and say, well done. And then from here, we're just going to roll over onto the right side of your body. Press into your left hand. Bring yourself up and meet me in easy cross leg. So sit on your block or your brick and get yourself comfortable. So shift the flesh off your sit bones. So it's really lovely having people in here during a recording. I'm enjoying it. And I know I can pace it better, hopefully. So I'll be interested to hear how the people watching it feel about it. So feel that you're lifting up out of your sit bones, right up to the crown of your head. Get yourself really, feel strong, feel grounded. Feel that energy moving up from your sit bones right up to the crown of your head. And feel good to be alive. Take a big inhale and smile. And exhale. Soften, but try and keep that nice, strong posture. One more. Inhale and exhale. So now we're going to sweep our arms out to the side. We inhale, reach up. Maybe you'll bring your hands together, drop your shoulders down and draw down that lovely energy. And bow your head down towards your heart. We'll do one more of those. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Draw down that lovely prana, that energy. And bow your head down towards your heart. And then bring yourself up. And we're going to take our left hand out just to the outside of the left leg or left thigh. Inhale up with the right. And just a gentle hinge over to the left. Inhale back to center, swap sides, right hand down, left hand up. And hinge. One more to each side. Right hand up. So just as far as feels right for you, and just notice where you're feeling it. And down, other side, up. And down. And then bring your hands onto your knees, and we're going to take a big inhale and feel as if you're hollowing out the back of your body, lifting your heart center up. And exhale, round your shoulders, navel back towards your spine, tuck your chin. So like a cat-cow pose. Inhale, bring your heart center through, shoulders rolling back and down. And exhale, navel back towards your spine, chin in towards your chest. And more of those. Inhale, bring your heart center through, shoulders away. And exhale, come into your cow pose. Lovely, well done. And then from here, we're just going to roll forward and meet me in tabletop. So knees are below your hips, your wrists are below your shoulders, and we're actively pressing the floor away. So knees and feet hip width apart, press the floor away, press into the base of the index finger and thumb, and make sure you're nice and steady. So we're not sitting here like this, almost in a cow pose to begin with, although it'd be a very floppy cow pose. So we're pressing the floor away, and then you lightly lift your navel up towards your spine. So we're not sort of squeezing in like mad or anything, we're just the lightest of little lifts here. But feel strong. Fingers are well spread, middle fingers heading towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to reach back with the right foot and leg, give it a wee stretch, stretch into the back of the right leg, stretch into the back of the right heel. And then lift it up and bend your right heel and bring it in towards your bottom. So we're lifting up, and we're just going to do a few big circles with the right knee, but really we're feeling in the right hip. So try not to collapse too much into the left side. If you look down, your left thigh should still be perpendicular to the floor. So you can have a wee bend in your elbows, but try not to sort of tip over to the left. And then change direction. Excuse me. And really feel that you're stretching and moving that hip. And then bring the right knee down. Plant the right hand firmly, and inhale, draw your left arm up across your chest, elbow up towards the ceiling, and then release your lower arm up. So feel you're bringing your right ribs forward, and then drop your left hand down towards your right waist. Lift your heart up. Lift your head up towards the ceiling. Strong right arm. Keep pressing the floor away. One more breath here, and gently release your left arm and plant it down. So now we're going back to the right leg, and we're going to bring the right knee in again, or the right heel in again. So strong arms this time. And now we're going to swing our left arm round and take hold of the left leg. So your left legging, your ankle, your foot, wherever you can, and lift your knee up towards the ceiling. So lift it up, and then maybe look down at the floor for your balance, but maybe if you feel balanced, you can look up over your left shoulder. So everybody's very quiet in here this morning. I think they're afraid of being heard. One more breath, lovely, well done. And then nice and gently release your right foot, bring your left hand down, and give yourself a wee jiggle from side to side. Give your wrist a wee shake if they need it. And then we'll do the other side. So we're going to reach back with the left foot and leg, press into the heel of the left foot and leg. So feel that you're stretching out that left leg to begin with. And then bend the left leg, heel in towards your bottom. And we're going to do big circles. And of course, if you want to make yourself work a little bit harder, so watch your right thigh is staying nice and perpendicular to the floor. So say your arms can have a wee bend in them, but you want the right thigh to be perpendicular, more or less, to the floor. So if you want to work a bit harder, what you can do is to make sure your lower left leg isn't walloping about. You can bring your brick in and squeeze it in as you do your circles. Now you don't have to do this bit. I'm only saying if you want to work harder, you're all awfully good trying this, because we didn't do it on the other side. But just notice the difference it makes once you are consciously squeezing that. Don't worry if your brick falls. That's all part of the fun. So change direction if you haven't already changed direction. It just means that that lower left leg isn't sort of walloping about. You might even find it makes it a little bit easier. Well done. So now we can bring the left leg down, and we're going to press into the left hand and arm, and we're going to draw the right arm up across and reach up with the right hand. So bring the right elbow up towards the ceiling first, and then reach up with the right lower arm, and then bring it down towards your left waist. Lift your right shoulder up. Feel as if you're bringing your left ribs up towards the ceiling. One more big inhale here, and exhale. Release your right hand down. Coming back to the left foot and leg. Stretch it out, bring it in towards your bottom. And now we're going to reach around with the right hand and arm, and same thing again, wherever you can reach. Or of course you can use a belt or a scarf. And try and lift the left thigh up towards the ceiling. Rotate your right shoulder. Look up towards the ceiling if you can, but if your balance is a bit dodgy, keep looking at the floor. Lift up. Breathe. Well done. There's a real flurry of wee birds out here feeding this morning. Lift up, breathe, one more big inhale, and exhale, gently release. Bring both hands down, both knees down. Take your knees out the full width of your mat and sit your bottom back down onto your heels. Wee quick breather. Bring your forehead down onto the floor, or you can make a little pillow with your lower arms. So inhale into the back body, exhale, soften and release into the front body. Feel that nice, long, slow, nourishing prana. This is our energy force. One more breath here. And then walk your hands back or forward, depending on where you have them. And bring yourself back into your tabletop position. And again, actively pressing the floor away. So we're just going to give the fronts of the feet a wee stretch here. So we're going to press strongly into the tops of the feet, press strongly into the base of the index finger and thumb, strong arms, and we're just going to hover, literally just a couple of inches off the floor, knees off the floor, pressing into the tops of the feet. So again, this is another part that and lower down again. So we'll do a couple more. So this is another part of our bodies that doesn't really often get stretched. So when you're ready, take a big inhale and exhale, hover. Take a breath here, strong arms, and gently release. One more. Take a breath, big inhale, exhale, hover. Press the floor, lovely. Navel back towards your spinal help, engage your core. One more breath, and gently drop your knees down. Now tuck your toes under and bring yourself up into downward facing dog, keeping your knees bent really, really deeply. So just keep your knees bent as deeply as you can. Lift your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Focus on trying to get your sit bones up as high as you can and let your head go. Couple more breaths here. And then begin to straighten one leg at a time, nice and slowly and gently. And really focus on the heel of the straight leg. We're not in a hurry anywhere. So really feel that stretch down the backs of the legs. And then when you've done 3 or 4 on each side, then come into your static dog. Begin to straighten your legs. Begin to take your heels back and down. Big arm bones rotating out. Navel back towards your spine. Kneecaps are lifted. Maybe you lift the toes off the floor, even your heels aren't down. See if you can lift your toes off a little bit. Notice how that activates the muscles in the legs. And look towards your tummy button. Feel as if you're trying to get your chest down towards your thighs, and that's the direction you're looking towards your navel. Lovely. Breathe and smile. Tell yourself, I'm strong. One more breath here. And then bending your knees as deeply as you need to. We're just going to take a little walk, wee dander, towards the front of your mat. So bend your knees as much as you need to and meet me in Uttanasana. So knees are bent deeply, or you can have them, if you're very flexible, you can have them straight, of course. Crown of your head coming down towards the floor. Maybe hold on to your elbows and allow the weight of your elbows to help to lengthen through the back body and feel as if you're getting more space between each vertebra, between the ribs. Maybe be rocked from side to side and feel almost as if you're taking the weight onto the balls of the feet. So the weight is evenly spread between all 4 corners of your feet, of course, but you don't want to be rolling back onto your heels. So
sometimes helps if you feel that you're rolling onto the balls of your feet to make sure that you are nicely balanced. So now we're going to inhale into our flat back. So hands to your shins or your thighs. Wherever you are, you're drawing your heart center through, shoulders rolling back and just looking forward. So your head and neck are in a nice extension of your spine, so we're not crunching with our head up or tucked in. And exhale, fold a little deeper. So again, bend your knees as much as you need to. I'm going to do another one of those. When you're ready in your next inhale, shoulders rolling back, lovely flat back, feel strong. Bring your heart center through. One more big inhale here. And exhale, bend your knees deeply. Sit back into your imaginary chair and bring your arms up overhead. So you can keep your arms back, or you can keep your hands on your hips, or you can, this is the strongest way to do it. It is hard. So keep your arms out in front, you don't even have to have them up at shoulder level. Lots of options. Lift your pubic bone up, draw your sacrum down towards the floor. Look down, you should be able to see all 10 toes. Shoulders rolling away. One more big inhale here. Press strongly into all 4 corners of your feet and bring yourself the whole way up. Lovely. And hands to your heart center. Lovely. So we just take a wee breather here. We'll check that you're standing in all 4 corners of your feet, so really feel secure. And inhale, sweep your arms up, just to wherever's comfortable. Exhale, sweep them down. Inhale. And exhale. And if you want to, you can do the So Hum mantra. So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. So and hum. One more. So and hum. And then just stand with your eyes closed if you can. Notice how you're feeling. And then as slowly as you can, see if you can allow your eyes to open really, really slowly. Again, another set of muscles that we don't really control. It's all involuntary. Lovely. So now we're going to inhale and bring ourselves up onto the balls of our feet. Oops. And exhale, lower down. Inhale up. So find something that's not moving. Exhale down. And some days your balance is good and some days it isn't. So just accept it where it is today. Inhale up. And this time we're going to go the whole way down. Stay in the balls of your feet if you can. And lower yourself down. Nice and slowly. Make contact with the floor. Get your balance here. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Smile. Feel the work going on in your toes, in your feet. So we spend so much time with our poor feet squashed into shoes. Take a big inhale here. And maybe you'll turn towards the right. Just a little turn. Inhale back to center. Exhale to, the left. And the floor's there to catch you. Back to center. Make contact with the floor. Heel toe your feet, or move your feet out so they're about the width of your mat apart. And I say, take a minute or two to get the heels down onto the mat. So maybe you'll just get one heel down at a time. And again, use a blocks, a rolled up blanket, rolled up towel, anything at all to tuck underneath your heels. And then maybe you'll come into your static position with your heels down. If your heels aren't down, then maybe you can, so the further out you have your feet, actually the easier it'll be. So your feet are at 10 to 2, and maybe keep your hands on the floor if you need to. But maybe you'll bring your hands together at your heart center, lift your heart up, sacrum going down towards the floor. Big inhale. And exhale, lift your heart up a wee bit more. Maybe we should be inhaling the lift up. Doesn't really matter as long as we're breathing. And then from here, we're going to press strongly into all four corners of our feet and bring yourself straight up. Lovely, well done. This isn't easy. We'll do one more, lower down. Inhale and exhale, bring yourself down. Great, one more. Take a breath. Here, get your balance. Tell yourself, I'm strong, I can do this. Inhale, straight up. Well done. Heel toe your feet in together. Release your hands. And then from here, we're going to inhale up and exhale, fold forward and down. Make contact with the floor. Let your head go. Have a wee quick breather here. And then we're going to step back with the right foot, step back with the left foot, and bring yourself into downward facing dog. So pressing the floor away. Sit bones lifting up. Crown of your head coming down towards the floor. And let everything go. So this is a wee breather here. Please feel free to take your breather in child's pose if you want to, because now we're going to go on and do Virabhadrasana 1. I'm going to do high lunge first anyway. So tell yourself you're taking the weight onto your left foot and leg. Lift your right leg up. Look forward and bring your right foot through. So use your right hand to bring your foot through, or take as many steps as you need to. So we're on the ball of our back foot. Get your balance. Look forward. Press into the ball of the front foot. Press into the ball of the back foot. Press into both feet. And then when you've got your balance, you can bring your hands onto your knee if you need to. Maybe you'll sweep yourself straight up into Anjani Asana, high lunge. And of course, you can bring the back knee to the floor anytime you want to. So you're reaching up into your fingertips, and imagine you're sinking a little bit lower into your lunge. Check your front knees heading towards the middle of your foot. Pressing strongly into that back leg. Feel, you know the way we stretched at the beginning? Feel that stretch again. Reaching up and sitting a little bit lower. Inhale up and exhale, sit a little bit lower. And now we're going to drop our hands down, clasp your hands in at your sit bones, and now we're going to plant the heel of the back foot. So make sure you've got a broad enough stance so that your balance is okay. You don't want this foot directly in behind you don't want the back foot directly in behind the front foot. Draw your knuckles down towards your heels. Lift your heart up. So version of Virabhadrasana 1. Press into the heel and the baby toe side of the back foot. Smile. Breathe. Big inhale here. And exhale. Begin to fold forward down the inside of that front leg and let your knuckles roll up towards the ceiling maybe. Keep your hands down on your hips if that's better for you. And the crown of your head coming down towards the floor. Inhale and exhale, soften. One more breath here. And then drop your hands onto your hips. Release your hands. Frame the front foot with your hands. Pivot in the toes of the back foot and step back into down dog. So take a wee breather here. Or again, bring your knees down to the floor and take your breather in child's pose. So wherever you are, feel that you're breathing into the back of the body, exhaling into the front of the body. Inhale and exhale. So if you're in child's pose, maybe bring yourself back into Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. And then tell yourself, I'm taking the weight onto my right foot and leg and lift the left leg up. And then look forward, roll onto the toes of the back foot and step the left foot through. And we're staying on the ball of the back foot to begin with. So get your balance, press into the front foot, press into the ball of the back foot, and then begin to bring yourself up. Reaching up into your fingertips, exhaling, lunging a little more. So check your front knee is heading towards the middle of your foot. Lovely. Smile, look as if you're enjoying yourself. Shoulders rolling away. Drop your shoulders down into their hip pockets. Inhale up and exhale, lunge a little more. Feel strong. Feel glad to be alive. It's wonderful. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to swing our arms round, clasp your hands. So see if you can take a different clasp, it'll be the one that feels a bit awkward. And plant the heel of the back foot. So you might even want to bring it in a little bit. So certainly don't have it directly behind your front foot or your balance will be pretty difficult. Roll your shoulders back, draw your knuckles down towards your heels, lift your heart up, navel back towards your spine will help with your balance. Big inhale and exhale, soften. Inhale into the crown of your head, exhale, soften a tiny little bit more. And then we're going to take another big inhale here, excuse me. And then we're going to bring the fold forward over the inside left leg. Allow your arms to drift up. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, doesn't matter. Keep pressing into the heel and the baby toe side of the back foot, strong back leg. Crown of your head coming down towards the floor. Strong front leg. Tell yourself, I'm strong. Warrior poses are strong. One more breath here. And then drop your hands onto your bottom. Release your hands. Frame the front foot Pivot in the toes of the back foot, step yourself back, and this time we'll all take our knees out the full width of the mat, big toes to touch, and just have a little breather in extended child's pose. So the crown of your or the forehead, third eye on the floor, and maybe give it a little rock from side to side. So feel as if you're trying to stretch your yoga mat away as you inhale, and as you exhale, maybe your sit bones will come a little closer to your heels. So although this is a resting pose, we are still having a good stretch. Really feel you're stretching your arms as far forward as you can and sitting your bottom down as much as you can. So just 2 more breaths here, getting length in the back body, softening in the front body. And then begin to walk your hands back and make your way up and meet me in high kneeling. So use your blanket here if you want to put underneath your knees, or you can double up your mat like that so that you've got a bit of extra, what's the word I'm looking for, padding, okay? And all the hard stuff's done now. We're nearly all done. So we're going to look down at our right hand and arm. So you can have your toes tucked here, or you can have them down. If you want to touch your heels, I would suggest you tuck your toes. It brings them a wee bit closer. So we're just going to do a little bit of a prep for Ustrasana camel pose. So look down at your right thumb to begin with. Sweep your right arm across, round, up. And then follow your right thumb, and maybe you'll be coming down somewhere close to your right heel. So we're doing a great big circle with that right shoulder and that right thumb. So allow your body to follow your thumb. Allow your head, your shoulders to follow your thumb. And maybe by the time you've done it a couple of times, you will be beginning to graze the heel with the right thumb. And then maybe just lift your left hand up and reach into your left fingertips. So you're pressing maybe into your left thumb. If you're not, just keep yourself up a little bit. Reach, so feel you're getting a stretch. Feel as if you're trying to take the 2 arms apart. Lovely. Feel a lovely stretch all down the left side. 1 more breath here. Drop your left arm down and gently bring yourself up to the other side. So look down at your left thumb this time. Sweep it across, round, up, and down. So don't expect to touch your thumb on the first, or touch your heel, sorry, on the first go. Round, and down. Sweep it across, follow it the whole way. Be aware of that movement in your body. And maybe this time you'll get your thumb, why do I keep wanting to call that your thumb, your heel. See how that feels. And then maybe you'll reach up with the right arm. Lovely stretch. Look up again, this time at your right thumb. Lovely. So keep bringing your hips forward. So don't let your thighs go back. Your thighs should be perpendicular to the floor. Bring your hips forward. One more breath here. Drop your right arm down. Release your left hand. And then from here, we're going to sit down onto our heels and we're going to make a little cup, a little rest for our chin. And this feels so good after that wee stretch. So that's sort of almost like half Ustrasana we're doing, half camel pose. So breathe into your back body, exhale into the front. So one more breath here. And then we're going to make fists with our hands and we'll bring our forehead down onto our fists. And again, we're just very gently working our way into a counter pose for what we've just done. And then plant one palm on the floor, put the other palm, or your mat, the other palm on top, and just gently lowering down until we're almost in Balasana, child's pose. And then either keep your hands here, or if you want to, you can bring your forehead onto the mat and take your arms down either side of your heels and allow your shoulders to roll forward. And again, inhale into the back body. Exhale, soften into the front body. So now bring your hands forward again. And swing your legs to one side. And from here, just make your way nice and slowly and gently down onto your mat, whatever way feels right for you. Bring your knees into your chest, give a wee squeeze in. We rock from side to side. And then, nice and gently, either keep your knees bent, allow them to knock in towards each other with the feet out wide, or straighten your legs out along the floor. Tuck your shoulders in under. And just take a nice long, slow, deep inhale. And a nice soft, whispery exhale. So we'll do one more of those. Inhale, fill your lungs right up to the top. Pause briefly. And exhale, whisper it out through your nose. And just take a couple of rounds of breath to notice how you're feeling now at the end of your practice. This time is important to allow your body and your mind to assimilate what we've been doing during today's class. Inhale and exhale. Allow the weight of your body to be supported by the mat. Inhaling energy, freshness. Exhaling
allowing yourself to soften and release down onto your mat. Allowing your body to release, to relax, and to let go. No more holding, no more hard work. Just letting go. Bring your awareness to any sensations arising in the parts of your body in contact with the mat. The back of the head, the backs of the shoulders, all of the back body, the buttocks, the heels. And just let it all go. So feel free to stay here for as long as you have time, just allowing your body to relax and renew, and let your mind begin to leave your practice behind. But otherwise, we're going to say goodbye. Bring your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. May everyone know a life of joy. May everyone lead a life of health. May everyone everywhere be glad. And may we all be at peace with whatever comes. Namaste.